Well, you can count me as surprised when it came to this episode of Dragon Ball Super. I expected about 95% of this episode to just be focusing on building up Frieza's transformation, but it wasn't that. It was actually pretty fast and simple. We got right into that action rather quickly. I mean, Frieza transformed maybe around the beginning of the episode, and then he revealed his power, and then we had our fight with Goku. Then we get to see the demonstration of Frieza and Goku's strength. Now, so far in terms of the way the battle has been shown throughout this episode, it doesn't really look like Frieza and Goku's scale of battle is as high up there as it was with Beerus versus, the Super Saiyan God Goku. It does not look that impressive. I mean, it's a really good fight. I'm liking the fight so far, but what I'm getting at is in terms of feats, what we saw Goku and Beerus doing in the last arc, that was insane. But with this fight, it doesn't so far seem to be anything like that, but we have yet to see the full battle. I mean, this looks like it's still just a warm-up for their two forms that they're displaying against each other. And Frieza right now is obviously the strongest one out of both of them. I mean, he's straight up just demolishing Goku, putting him on the ground. And, I mean, we all know, if you've watched the movie, I'm not going to say nothing, but if you watch the movie, you kind of know what Frieza's downfall was, and I'm going to assume it's going to be the exact same thing to that extent with his downfall. But for now, though, we have to say Frieza's pretty damn strong. But there was one thing I saw from this episode that was very quick. It was very quick. It could be a translation error, so don't quote me on this. It could be a translation error. But in the translations of this episode, when Beerus and Whis were talking, they were talking and they mentioned how Frieza got trained. They said that real quick. It was a really quick line in this episode. And they said that Frieza got trained. And I'm thinking like, whoa. Frieza got trained. Like, we all assume Frieza went out of his way to meditate or do some form of training for himself. But then we get told from a quick line, which could be misinterpreted, and you might think he was trained by someone, so I don't know if it's correct or not. But are they implying that Frieza got training from someone? If they did, who trained Frieza? Like, who the fuck trained Frieza? I mean, if Frieza contacted Champa, I could see that. I could definitely see if Frieza contacted him for some reason, and Champa gave him, like his own little hyperbolic time chamber space to train in. That would definitely explain a lot of things with Frieza, how he got so strong in just a short amount of time. And if so, it would explain how his power level reached to that high up there in just, a couple of months, or half a year. So, I'm curious about that. I'm very, very, very curious if that's where they're going with that, or if that was just a mistranslation. But for now, though, I'll leave that be. Let's talk about the other stuff. So the fight, overall, the fight's action, I can't really say I'm disappointed, honestly. I mean, there's some certain things about it I'm not really impressed with. I mean, there is some certain faces that look rather derpish throughout this entire episode, but for the most part, the fighting looked really cool. I like the fighting between Goku and Frieza, just, punching at each other, and, overall, the entire dynamic of it reminded me a lot of the Goku versus Frieza on Namek. A lot of the fight actually resembles what was going on in the Namek Saga. If you take a moment to go back and look at Goku and Frieza's fight, and then look at this episode, and what happened in last week's episode stuff, it resembles a lot of that. It was like, Frieza and Goku and their power struggle, and Frieza's trying to get revenge with their fight. That's kind of what it looks like. It really looks like, they're trying to do parallels to that fight. And I wonder if they're going to do any more in the next couple of episodes. But overall, though, Dragon Ball Super, with this episode, it was entertaining. I enjoyed it. It was definitely something good to wake up to in the morning and watch. I know it came out yesterday, but it had some very late translations, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna chill, and I'll wait when I wake up in the morning, because just the translations on Dragon Ball Super have been very weird recently. Like, usually they used to come out, like, early morning on a Sunday, and now it's not been coming out until, like, a Monday to, like, sometimes Monday night. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So, I mean, I've just been, waiting until I know it's out, and then I just, watched it. But yeah, So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, how do you all feel about this episode of Dragon Ball Super? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? How do you feel about the animation and art? How do you feel about Golden Frieza's new form if you're an anime only and have not seen the movie? How do you feel about the power struggle between them? Do you think Frieza is definitely stronger in terms of strength? And do you think Frieza was trained by someone else, or was that a mistranslation? Let me know in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.